All right, this is the homework help video for the second assignment of week one, which is properties of logs. You'll notice that for the most part this week we're using CUDA software. Y'all know the benefits of that. You can check your answers. I've put those in PDF form on the hub there for you, so please be checking your answers. The other thing I want to make sure you guys know is that I'm offering office hours, which office hours, just like in college, I know none of y'all have been to college, but in college, professors are required to have what's called office hours, where they're in their office available for students to come by. Um, Depending on the subject, especially if it's a math class like this one, it's mostly just like, hey, I need help with this, or I want to go over the test that you just graded, so it's basically like tutorials. And so I will be offering those office hours. They are on the right side of the hub in a little box. You can see the link for each day during those times. There on the hub page, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I'll be available for Algebra 2 for 1 hour. There are some problems on these practices that I'm not going to do on the homework help that I'm going to wait to do during the office hours. And that's just to make sure that you guys get an opportunity to work the difficult, sort of unique problems on your own without getting to see the explanation here on YouTube first. So if you want, like for example, if you're wondering about, number 11 is a big one. Right, number 12, same thing. If you're wondering about some of those more interesting, more complex problems, and especially the critical thinking questions, those I will not be going over in this video. I will be going over during the office hours that will be taking place this week. Since it's a short week, those office hours will just be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and the times and the link to get into those video chats with me are available on the hub page. Okay, let's start going over a few of these problems. I think first I'd like to do number 2. All right, so number 2 is a pretty simple, straightforward product rule problem. All right, so this is the log of 5 times 3. Now, one little note that I want to make is you'll notice that on this sheet, on every problem, I think it's every problem at least, they don't have a base. They haven't included a base number. Okay, now that is something that we're actually going to run into a lot, especially as we start to graph these functions, which is going to happen next week. Now, something that I need you guys to know, and we'll be talking about this a lot, but I want to just introduce it to you here. Anytime you don't have a base, we assume that the base is 10. So the standard base for a log is 10, so that we can kind of make a little placeholder here. That's a 10, all right? And so that's something that's important to know. I'll be probably showing you that a few times here on this video as we go through these problems that tend to not have a base. All right, okay, so let's go ahead and expand this problem. You'll notice that here the instructions, they tell us to expand the log, expand each log. So we're going to put this in expanded form. Just really quick, looking at the notes from the video that we did last time, product rule says that if two things are multiplied inside of an argument, we can separate them out with an addition sign and put them both with the same base in that log. All right, so this number 2 problem is just that simple. All right, don't make it any more complicated than that. We just need to make 2 logs that are separated by a plus sign. Okay, and then in the first log, we're going to put that first piece of the product. All right, so that's going to be a 5. And in the second log, we're going to make that a 3. All right. Now, of course, we know that these both have a base of 10, all right, because the assumed base, that empty base, is a 10, but you don't have to write that. So you could just have your answer as log 5 plus log 3. All right, I do think it's a good practice to put parentheses around those arguments. That way we know sort of where the argument starts and stops. All right. Now remember, nice thing about CUDA software, you can click that other link and you'll be able to see the answer. And so here is that answer to number 2. So we know that we did that one right. Okay. Let's pick another couple of problems to do. Let's try number 6. Okay, let's try number 6. All right, so number 6 is log, again, no base, so we know that that's a 10, but I'm not going to write it this time. We're going to get used to leaving it blank if it is a 10. All right, you always have that option. So we have an argument here that is 6 over 5, and that fraction is raised to the power of 6. Okay, so we have a couple of options as to what order we do this in, right? Our PEMDAS tells us that we need to handle these parentheses first, all right? Now, the fact that these parentheses are sort of, the exponent is outside of those parentheses, that means that both the 6 and the 5 are getting that exponent, all right? So I think maybe a good first step here is to go ahead and give both of those numbers the exponent. That way we can kind of see exactly what we're doing here. All right, so I've just put that exponent on both of those numbers. Okay, so what we're looking at here is we've got the we have two rules. We've got the quotient rule and we've got the power rule. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that quotient rule first. Okay, so I'm going to take this division. That division is going to turn into a subtraction. So when I expand this one out, all right, that division is going to turn into a subtraction. So we're going to have 2 logs with a subtraction. Now the first log is going to have the argument of 6 to the 6th power, and the second one will have the argument of 5 to the 6th power. All right. Now we can continue to expand this out because both of these logs that we now have an exponent, and so we can now use the quotient rule to pull that exponent out, and put it as a multiplier on the front. All right, so this one, instead of being log of 6 to the 6th, we can make it 6 times log 6. So we pulled that exponent and put it in front. We're going to do the same thing here. Pull the 6, all right, and then we'll have a log of 5. Okay, so this is a good answer there. You can check that one on the PDF on the hub. Click that answers link, and you'll see that we got that one correct. Okay, let's see. Let's do one of these that has an exponent that is not on the outside. All right, so let's do number 10. Number 10 will be the next one that we do. All right, so number 10 is log, again, no base, so we know that that's base 10, of x over y to the 5th. All right, so here they're just wanting us to practice using the quotient rule, using the power rule. So first we're going to do that quotient rule. So we are going to separate that into 2 logs. So we got log minus log. All right. Now the first log is going to be the top, or the numerator there, of our division problem. That's an x, so log of x. Sorry, I should be doing parentheses there. So log of x, and then log of minus log of y to the 5th power. Okay. All right, so this is correct. These are the same things, but there's a little bit more that I can do here. I can use my power rule to pull that and make it a coefficient, that 5. So we're going to make this instead log of x minus 5 log of y. Okay, so there's a perfect answer there. Again, just 2 steps. Use the quotient rule to turn it into a subtraction, and use the power rule to pull that exponent and make it a coefficient. Okay. All right. Again, 11 and 12, pretty complex problems. I'd love for you guys to try those on your own. I'm not going to give you the answers to those, but please visit office hours and ask those questions if you need to. All right. Again, office hours. Check it out on the hub. All right, let's do a couple of examples here for the sort of that second page, okay? So the second page, they're asking you to condense each log. Condense. So now we want to use the sort of the inverse of those rules, the product rule, the quotient rule, the power rule, to sort of put some of these things back together. All right. Now this one is a very, very simple, number 13 there, very simple quotient rule problem, so I don't think I'm going to do that one. But I do want to maybe look at number 14, all right, this one that's got a little fraction on it. So we can kind of see what's happening there. I think this will help you as well with some of those problems that I mentioned that I'm not going to be doing. So let's look at number 14. Okay, so number 14, we've got log of 6 over 3. All right, now I want you to think about what this 3 is doing. All right, if the 3 was inside the argument, right, then this would be like a quotient rule problem. But the 3 is happening, it's dividing the entire log. So really this is like a multiplier, right? In fact, the first step here is going to be to understand that dividing by 3 is the same thing as multiplying by 1/3. Sorry. So this is actually 1/3 times log of 6. All right, hopefully you can see there, dividing by 3 is the same thing as multiplying by 1/3. And the reason why this helps us is now I've got this coefficient. So now I can sort of undo that power rule, the power rule that we learned last time in the notes video. The power rule says that if I've got a log with a base of b, with an argument of m that is raised to a power, what this says is that I can pull that power here and make it a multiplier or a coefficient, right? And so what we're going to do here on this problem is we're going to undo that. We're going to condense this. We're going to put this multiplier back up onto the answer there. All right. Oops. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put this 1/3 as an exponent here. So this is what that's going to look like. Log of 6 to the 1/3 power. All right. Now, I don't mind this answer. I don't mind fractional exponents. Something that we haven't done a whole lot of this year is really looking at what a fractional exponent is. So let me zoom in on this a little bit, see if we can get a little better view. Okay, so there's another way to actually write this answer out. A 1/3 exponent is the same thing as taking a square root. All right, so let's sort of put that out here on the side. Sorry, a cube root. I think I said square root. So x to the 1/3 power is the same thing as the cube root of x. All right, and so that's what a fractional exponent does. The numerator is sort of the exponent, the positive exponent, or the normal exponent. How many times am I multiplying x by itself? The denominator is what root am I taking? Okay, so we can rewrite this problem, or this answer, as log of the cube root of 6. All right, so both of these answers are correct. Let's actually see what CUDA gave us as the answer here officially. Yeah, they went ahead and had that as the cube root there, so I'm glad I showed you that. All right, so that's a good piece to have. All right, I think I've got time for one more problem. Let's maybe do, let's do number 23, I guess. We can try number 23 really quick. And then any additional questions that you have, you can bring to office hours. Again, those office hours will be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday this week. Check the hub, the right side of the hub page. You'll be able to see the link to join those office hours. Okay, so we've got 20 log base 6 of the letter U plus 5 log base 6 of the letter V. All right, so a couple of different things happening here. We're going to definitely be using the power rule. You can see the powers that are happening here. I've got this little multiplier here that I can sort of jump up on top of the U. Then I've got this multiplier here, this coefficient here that I can put back where it probably started up there on the V as an exponent. Then I've also got the product rule happening here. All right, so let's put all that together. All right, so first let me put those items up, those exponents back. All right, so you can see I put the 20 back on the U there. All right, and then that is plus log base 6 of V to the 5th. So that's what I did there. I just put those exponents back. And then to finish this problem, we are going to put those arguments together as a log base 6, and we are going to multiply them. All right, so U to the 20th times V to the 5th. All right, that product rule can replace the addition. Okay, thank you guys.